My name's Jill Bamford and I work for ADAS UK Ltd and I'm the Group HR Director. I think it very much depends what you're leading, and the context is quite important because, for example, a crisis or a turnaround is quite different to steady state. But I think the criteria that really are probably relevant to all situations are very much quite a lot of emotional intelligence as well as intellectual intelligence. I think you do have to be a good communicator, both one-to-one and in group situations. And I think also having the ability to have a sort of helicopter view where you can zoom up and see the big picture, but zoom into the detail when you need to. I think in a way we probably need to fundamentally restructure business if you really do want to do anything lasting with it, because I think men and women would create organisations in very different ways, and I think most or an awful lot of organisations, particularly well-established ones, tend to have been set up by men, run in the way that men would run them. And I think women would just do it differently, not necessarily better or worse, just different. And I think if you therefore want people to thrive, then you have to take account of how things are structured in the first place. And I think that currently a lot of organisations, as I said, are run in the way that men would run them, and women therefore have to adapt quite significantly to effectively play a role within those organisations. Women tend to be more collaborative and less adversarial than men, and I think so the whole sense of how teams work and the whole sort of status of different roles would largely be quite different. And I think the women tend to work and thrive better in a more sort of social and collaborative environment than in a more status-oriented one, really. Well, I think in anything you do, if you can have great communication skills, if you can really excel in either one-to-one, but also in group situations, the way you present, and a lot of it is about self-belief and confidence, really. That's what carries people, and then often that will put you in a position that you can then start to really thrive in. But often it's that confidence and that self-belief that has to come first before you start to get those opportunities. An ability to be comfortable in their own skin, to just talk to people, to hold a good conversation, ask good questions and really listen to the answers, because it's really in that you're then going to start to identify what the client needs. It does come back to confidence, and I think when I talk to, so for example, some of our new graduates, quite a few recently have been female, and often when they look back, they'll reflect and say, well, they were too concerned about being absolutely technically, completely up to date and knowing everything in case the client asked them something they couldn't answer. And actually, they realised over time, it's more how much can you put the client at ease, how much can you build rapport with the client, and it's that relationship that really matters. You have to know your stuff and you have to be credible, but you don't have to be, completely bulletproof from that point of view. It's much more about those interpersonal skills. A lot of it is about clarity, about people knowing what they're doing, why they're doing it, and how it fits in with everything else. And I think often you have to keep reinforcing that clarity, so people are clear all the time what everything means and how it all fits together. And I think if you can do that in a sense, and then also make people still feel valued as individuals, albeit they're part of a collective, I think that helps. And then and particularly if people believe in what you're trying to achieve. Well, I suppose it's probably 3 out of the 4 values that we espouse as a company, really, corny as it may sound, which is curiosity, whether that's about your staff, the client, the environment you're working in. I think energy and how you apply that energy, and knowing where to put your energy on that side, and results, because at the end of the day, that's what we're all going to be measured on. It is the results that we achieve, really.